Let him tell the story, but first of all, Tony, if you could just tell our viewers, what is your existing business and what does it do?
Okay, cool. Well, as Matt's already said, my name's Tony Ashbolt and I'm the founder of Connaught Corporate Solutions. We're a wealth management strategy company based in the UK that looks after tax mitigation and asset protection for business owners and high net worth individuals. I founded the company back in 2005, and whenever you're setting any business up, getting clients is key. Keeping them is even more important. But when you're starting with nothing, and when I go back 11 years, I had no clients. We had to start from scratch. So it meant buying lists of names of accountants, buying sets of accounts of successful businesses. I then had to employ telesales people. I then had to spend an absolute fortune on mail shots. And then what was happening is I'm just spending a ton of money. These telesales people are then sending me here, there and everywhere all over the UK, because telesales, the way they work, they just want to put you in front of people. They don't care.
So they would get paid a commission.
Correct.
And you're driving around to all of these leads that aren't really qualified to be working with.
You're exactly right. It was very much more a blunderbuss approach than a laser approach, if you like. Sure. So I know my numbers because before I came out here, I actually looked over 11 years. I've done the same meeting. So I do the same presentation. I've done that about 1,700 times. So I'll do about 3 of those a week, and that will mean an hour driving there, an hour doing the meeting, an hour. So I've driven over 154,000 miles to attend these meetings over 11 years. Now, this started to do a couple of things. It started to affect my health, okay? It started to affect the amount of time I spent with my children and my family. And it all came to a head when I had a suspected heart attack. So I realised something had to change, and by luck, would you believe it, I met your company.
How did you first come across Mobe?
Okay, well, I look after 2 of your very, very successful affiliates.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yeah, right.
So when I looked at what these guys were earning and how they were living their lives, and I looked at me, now we do all right, but these guys were doing all right, and were we stress-free? So I spoke to both of them, and they told me exactly what they did. So I took a slightly different approach. I bought into Mobe. I bought into the whole thing. I positioned myself at Diamond from day one. I didn't actually plan to promote Mobe. What I wanted to use was I wanted to use the products and services that Mobe provided. Yep. And there were a lot less then than there are now. Okay. Right. But I applied it to my own business. Right. Okay. Now this to me was absolutely key. I'd never done anything like webinars before. I'd never advertised. Okay. Right. So suddenly I've produced, and this is all from a result of Mobe training, right? Okay. So I've produced 2 webinars, one for accountants, one for entrepreneurs. Okay. With that, we've attached a very, very specific questionnaire that when somebody watches the webinar, they have to fill out a questionnaire afterwards to then gain access to an automated diary that is set to when I'm free, not them. So they select that time. Yep. And then everything is done on Skype. Okay. So
no more driving.
Yeah, there's no more nothing. People. Right? There's no more telesales. Right. There's no more buying lists. I now advertise on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Very, very direct market. I only work with people because people come to me now. So instead of being the hunter, I've now become the hunted. So my phone kind of goes 2 or 3 times a day, or we get emails to say, I've seen your webinar. We filled out the questionnaire. Can we talk?
Now, is this a live webinar or a recorded?
No, it's just recorded. I just let it run.
Okay, so that's a webinar that you did, and those of you watching, I assume you know what a webinar is. It's basically an online workshop. So you've recorded that. Now that's playing on autopilot. Is that every night? Just every night. Yeah. What I did, I sat down with a reporter, and I got a reporter to interview me and ask me questions that people would ask about planning. And then, so we did one for accountants, because accountants have clients that want to introduce me. And then we've got business owners just like you that have their own tax issues that sometimes they don't share that with their accountant. Okay. Because their accountants aren't qualified to do that. So guys like you are looking for people like me. Now, you are very few and far between. Successful guys that make big money are few and far between. But if they can find you on the internet, it saves an awful lot of time, effort and energy. And that
that has done a number of things for me. Using the Mobe processes and techniques has meant that I've got my life back. My health is a million light years from where it was. Everything's under control now, which is great. Okay. Productivity in my business has gone up by over 100%.
Wow.
We were doing high six figures. We're now doing over seven figures, and I'm really pleased. And I also want to thank you, because without Mobe and everything that you've put together, I don't even know if I would be here.
That's great. That's really great.
So thank you. And I say, if I can shake your hand, because it means a lot. What you've put together has meant an awful lot. And if you're watching this here and you've got your own business, forget about the promotion of Mobe. Just by using everything they have for building businesses, for getting laser-driven target. If you want to build a website, or you want to build a database, or you want to work with the right clients, then Mobe definitely has the products and services. And I wholeheartedly endorse everything about it.